Are you terrified of heights, or do snakes haunt you in your dreams? Does the idea of public speaking really just make you sick in your stomach? Whatever it is, a lot of people have phobias. And this morning we're going to tackle those phobias head-on using an interesting technique. It's called timeline therapy. And joining me this morning, the president of the American Institute of Hypnotherapy, Dr. Tad James. Tad, great to have you on the program. Okay, let's just talk about hypnotherapy. How does... We've seen the stage hypnotists.
Yes.
Okay, there's performance art and there's hypnotherapy. What's the difference?
The difference is, in a stage show, we want to make it entertaining. So we find the people who are mostly extroverted and want to show off, and they'll do, shall we say, tricks for us. In hypnotherapy, what we're primarily looking for is to make a change at the unconscious level.
Okay. What sort of phobias can you cure through this aspect of hypnotherapy?
I've worked with a lot of different kinds of phobias. It's funny, I received a list last week when I was on a radio program from a fellow that was really thick. I didn't realize there were that many phobias, but every phobia I've ever worked with, we've gotten rid of.
For instance, so timeline, explain what timeline therapy is and how that relates to hypnotherapy.
Timeline therapy is a technique that uses your own internal time machine. If you will, your timeline, and we go back in the past and we let go of negative emotions from the past and we get rid of limiting decisions from the past. Then we discover how to create the future, so we can put something in our future so that it actually happens. It's like having your own time machine.
I'm struggling with that. Okay, just tell me, if I'm afraid of heights,
yes,
can you help?
Sure. I've actually worked with people that were afraid of heights. I had one woman who had an elevator phobia, for example. She was a clinical psychologist. She went up, she worked in Tripler Medical Hospital in Honolulu. And she used to walk up 11 floors every day for 13 years.
Hey, she was fit.
Yeah, she was fit.
She was fit.
That's a secondary benefit. And so it took us about a half an hour and we got rid of her phobia, and she was taking the elevator.
Okay, so most phobias with this therapy you can rid of people of.
I haven't found one yet that we haven't been able to get rid of working with the client, when the client wants to do it, of course.
Okay, well, it all comes from our own will.
We're not going to force someone to do something.
No, because that's what we see people running around the stage, you know, looking like chooks on the stage hypnosis. Sometimes you think, is it set up, or how willing are they to do that?
What we say is that that'd be the same fellow who, after a couple of beers, would put a lampshade on his head and dance around.
Oh, okay. We know their names and numbers.
Yes.
Okay, this morning, to test your theory, because I just think it's a very valuable insight into helping people with what is very scary for them. I'd like to invite to the chair to join us Peter Adams. Come on down, Peter Adams. This is Dr. Tad James in Australia. Peter, who we know in our office, and you know, we say we know Peter very well. He's a good mate of ours. He's one of our producers.
And I thought you'd liked me.
And I actually do really like you. That's why I'm sort of trying to couch this in the sense that I know how scared you are of snakes.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, why?
Can't pinpoint a reason. That's one thing that I would love to be able to know why. But I know when I was much younger, there was an incident in Lone Pine Park in Queensland, a wildlife sanctuary. We would just finish cuddling a koala, and I turned around and there was a handler with a snake. And even the word snake makes a physical reaction.
Okay, so yeah, you talk about a physical reaction. How scared are you? When was the last time you touched a snake?
I was forced to touch the snake in that incident, and that's once. I've only done it once. It's a situation I like to avoid. I sort of have a rule. I don't visit you in your house. You don't come and visit me in mine. Now, absolutely, it's a situation which starts in the stomach, and then a nausea, and...
I can actually tell you are getting short of breath and starting to hyperventilate when I'm talking to you about it.
He is.
Is this common in
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. This is a good phobia.
Yeah, a good one.
Yeah. It's good.
I've dealt with, like, there's parts of the Raiders of the Lost Ark I've never seen. Shoes, handbags, anything with that sort of pattern. I see the image of the eyes, I see the tongue coming out, and it's that physical reaction.
You say you've dealt with this and there's nobody willing person who you haven't been able to help?
So far, yes, that's correct.
Okay, what we'd like to bring on Tim from Featherdale Wildlife Park. Now, you know, we did alert you. You are a willing participant here. We're not forcing this. We're not doing a Tim Webster on you.
It is a silly situation.
Logies and Tim Webster, poor Tim. Now, Okay, and I got to say, I'm not absolutely thrilled, and I'm not really so fabulously excited, but I mean, I have done this before, so I'd be the one just standing back here, and I take a deep breath. Peter, I'm sort of with you, except I'm the one who's running and I don't have a phobia. I do. No, I will be brave and I will sit down. Tim, what sort of snake is this?
This is a diamond python.
And of course there's no venom in this.
No, being a python, it's a constrictor, so it wraps around its prey.
Now you just hold him just there for a second. Now, you're as antsy as me, except no, I'm brave because I have handled them before. Once I take a deep breath, yes, we just do that. Hello, darling. What's his name?
Cuddles.
Cuddles.
Yeah. It would be, wouldn't it? That's
fine.
That's great.
Okay, Tad, your timeline therapy that you're going to attempt, how long do you think it's going to take to keep your snake over there? How long do you think it's going to take to help Peter?
It can take anywhere from, say, half an hour to 2 hours.
Okay, so we're going to try and do this before the end of the show today. What are you going to do with Peter? You'll take him away. I'm
going to discover, first of all, how he does it in his mind. That is, what order and sequence of internal representations, what does he do in his head? What is he thinking about when he creates the phobia? Then we're going to actually get rid of that strategy, get rid of that pattern. And then we're going to do timeline therapy to get rid of the fear.
Okay. Is there any way that you can touch this snake now?
No. No. It's become, I think, like a conditioned behaviour now. Snake, as I said, snakeskin bags, let alone one that's winging in front of me. No, there's no way.
So you couldn't possibly, even if I asked you really, really nice?
Not even for you, Kerry-Ann.
I've heard that before.
But I've decided it's silly.
The baby here. Okay, I'll just
take
sort
one
of...
in, then I'll keep the other.
Yeah, you keep that in.
Yeah,
that'd be really good. Yeah, because poor my mate Tim Webster, is he? Oh, terrific. That's what I'm feeling much. But I mean, when you feel this, are you sure?
No.
You couldn't just, Pete, just a little. That's just the very end of the tail.
The very end of the tail.
Go on.
Oh, jeez. Yes. No,
What are you experiencing?
I'm so hot, I can't begin to tell you. The body temperature's just risen like crazy. I feel a breath, a shortness of breath, and
just try it one more time.
And the nausea in the stomach is not good.
Just try it.
Okay.
Because this is real, and I'm not trying to embarrass you, but this is a deep-seated fear that you have.
Oh, yeah.
It's a real snake, isn't it?
Yeah, and unfortunately, the same images that I'm getting, even at the thought of the word snake, is this head, is the eyes, is the tongue.
Good.
Yeah.
Are you certain, Ted, that you can help Peter? Is this important for you to do, Peter?
I've decided it's irrational, it's silly. Apart from arrangements like I don't come to your house, they don't seem to understand that. It's silly.
Okay, then. Well, Tad, we're going to ask you to take Peter away with you. And if you wouldn't mind staying with Cuddles. You look after him yourself, Tim. And you look after Cuddles, and we'll bring Cuddles back at the, hopefully by the end of the show, and we'll see how you're feeling.
What about me?
Yes, you're coming back. You may be in handcuffs and a straitjacket, but you will be back with us. Tad, thank you very much for joining in this, because I think it's very important across the board, and we'll talk a little bit more about hypnotherapy. Oh, I was going to say, which end was that? We'll be doing this again by the end of the show. And if you'd like, by the way, any more information on timeline therapy or hypnotherapy, there's a telephone number. It's a 1-800-133-433 telephone number with you. And there's some other very good things we can talk about toward the end. Good luck, Pete.
Thanks.
Peter Adams, Dr. Tad James. Hopefully he can be helped.